Hello, welcome to your MediXcel demo. I'll explain our platform in brief during this recording, and then you can email us if you want a deeper explanation for a particular module or a workflow. So this is going to be your login page. Once your hospital is set up, you'll receive a personalized URL for this page. Your page would have your logo right here, and login images can be changed based on your requirements. Each user will have a secure name and user password and have a dashboard and modules based on their accessibility. Now I'll do the secure login. This is your dashboard and these are the modules that you'll be receiving. I'll give you a brief description of each module first and then explain its feature and functionality in detail. This is the appointment calendar for your entire OPD workflow, starting with adding new patients, scheduling OPD appointments, and also doctor's consultations. This is the patient's records for accessing detailed historical data of all patients in a single module. This is the management module used by doctors, admins, and managers for operations and management-related tasks. The accounts management module is the entire billing and finances workflow for all departments. This is the lab management module. If you have an in-house lab, you can manage your entire pathological workflow, starting from sample collection and report dispatch. The drug dispense module is for your entire pharmaceutical workflow if you have an in-house pharmacy. The MIS module has an analytical data for Excel records of all reports based on date frequency. And then this is the IPD module for your entire IPD workflow from patient's admission to all formalities and then discharge. There are a couple of quick links over here, day alerts and users login status, and then patient search, quick patient search, and then server messages. Okay. Now, this is the appointment calendar. This is a view of the appointment calendar. You can filter out based on these filter options: date, patient, doctor specializations, clinic, schedule, and study room number. You can view this calendar as per monthly, weekly, daily, and list basis. Now the first step is to set up an appointment. Your front-end person will add a new patient by clicking over here. A new patient ID will be generated. You can fill up their details. We also have different membership types for all your hospitals. For your hospital, if they have any company or retail tie-ups, and different rate plan for them. And then you can just click on the add button, which will take you to the appointment scheduling page. For existing patients, you can just write the patient's name. Click on the search button and the name. Patient's details are auto-populated over here. You can continue by updating patient details or just add patient visit. This will redirect you to the appointment scheduling page. On the top here are the patient's demographic data, contact information, plan information, actions, and health management. The next section here has the patient's latest visits. You can add the appointment details over here, and then the modality. You can also add multiple appointments. You can also add pathology appointments or radiology appointments in the same page itself. In the next section is the billing. So as you add these studies, a unique bill is generated with the billing amount, consultation charges of whom you would be providing to us. In the next section is any studies and the rates as per specific patients. Next, you can add the discounts or taxes, and then the front end can go ahead with the payment. We also have partial payment options for if the patients want to pay before the appointment. And then this is the pending amount. Next is the notification section. We are offering free SMS and email integration to send updates to patients. The patients will receive notifications about any updates or actions once you click on the save button here. They'll also receive a link to download the bill and consultation report. Now the schedule has been made, appointment has been made. You can print the schedule by clicking over here, print bill, and print the bill receipt. Now, this is how your appointment will look like in the appointment calendar. There are a couple of shortcuts over here. You can update or cancel the appointment by clicking here. You can update the bill here. And you can also track the appointments. As you can see in the previous comment over here, there are color codes. You can, if there are a couple of tests completed in the specific appointment, it's marked in blue, and then you can see 1 out of 3 tests completed. The red things are tests ongoing. Now your doctor will log in with the doctor's credentials and come to their appointment page. They click on the study, and then the doctor's consultation page opens up. Now, this is the doctor's consultation page. On the top here is the patient's demographic data, the same one that we saw while booking the appointment. Next is the patient's vitals. So if your nurse is doing these steps in your workflow, then your nurse can log in with the nurse credentials, click on the same study, and then come to the consultation page and add the vitals here. You can also view these vitals on a graphical representation filtered by date. And then you can print this image as well. Once the vitals have been filled, next section is a chief complaint. Triaging management, if there are any triaging rules on that patient. Patient's medical history, surgical history, allergies, personal history, and past symptoms, blood group. Now, if your nurse is doing this workflow, then they can just fill these information and just save draft. Then your doctor can log in with the doctor's credentials, come to their appointment calendar, click on the study's name, which will redirect them to the same doctor's consultation page. Now they can start the workflow starting with symptoms. Next section is the symptoms based on different body parts, and then there's a summary of all the symptoms here. The next section are the observations based on different body parts. There's also a drawing pad if the doctor wants to draw a specific diagram or freehand write something. The next section is a study-specific form. You can give us your forms that you are using, and we'll update this page for you. So if this is a gynecology appointment, there will be a gynecology form over here. Next section is the area of concern. As you can see, this patient has chest pain. You can also view previous visits concern by clicking over here. Next section is the patient's health risk assessment details. Next is the inventory debit. If the doctor has any drugs in hand, they can debit directly from here and add to the bill. Next section is the diagnosis. We have diagnosis based on ICD-10 coding engine. So you can just write the disease name and match the code closest to the symptoms of the patient. You can also add multiple codes. Next is the prescription. So the doctor can add just the name, frequency, route of administration, start and end date, and then the quantity will auto-populate over here. We also have refill prescription options. So you can just refill specific drug that has already been prescribed to them, and drug interaction and contraindication alerts. Next is the lab helper. You can view the last 10 lab parameter values of that patient and add a specific parameter as well for any quick tests. For example, any pregnancy test or glucometer, oximeter test values. You can just add those values over here. Next is the doctor's notes and remarks. Doctors can write a summary for their consultation. If the doctor thinks that the patient has to be admitted, they can fill those details over here. And then in the next section, the doctor can recommend the patient for a specific doctor, external studies, or lab appointments, lab tests. In the next section, you can add a treatment plan and then the action plan. You can view the objective and status of the action plan that is currently ongoing right now. You can view it up by clicking over here, create a new action plan by clicking here. Next section, you can add the follow-up date, recall list. Now, if your nurse is doing these workflow, then the doctor can just save draft and then give this consultation page to the nurse to fill up the rest. Next, the nurse can add the follow-up date. It is taking a little while to load. Give me a moment. Add the recall list. You can recall this patient by 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, or 1 year. Add that date over here. And then attach any documents relevant to that patient or the study. And then just say finalize. Once the study has been finalized, the schedule has finished, consultation has finished. You can print prescription and print and email the report. This is a sample of the prescription. As you can see, there are contraindications, side effects, and drug interaction alerts. And your hospital's logo will be over here. You can print and email the report. You can check which options you want to show the patient. And then select the recipients. And then a PDF form will be notified to them. This is a sample of the report that they will be receiving with a signature. So this marks the end of the entire OPD workflow. Next is the patient records. Here you can search the patient's name, click on the search button and then view. The patient's entire historical data opens up in the next page. The top here is the same demographic data that we saw while doctor's consultation and appointment scheduling. Next section has the patient's IPD appointments. If the patient has any health package activated with your hospital, those details will be over here. Patient's medical history, you can also view the medical history in the previous visits. Patient's appointment history with the total overdue amount. Patient's vitals details, you can also view it in a graphical representation filtered by date. Next section is the patient's encounter details, all the doctors that the patient has visited till now. Any transaction history by the patient, lab helper and lab values, action plan that is ongoing right now, and all the drugs that have been prescribed to the patient till now that have been dispensed or not dispensed. The next section is to upload external reports given by the patients. And this is how the external report will look like. The next section is the patient's diagnosis details. If the patient is below 9 months of age, then the vaccination helper will be activated. The next section is the patient's surgery listing, and this entire report can be exported to Excel. Next is the accounts management. We have separate accounts based on the departments. This is the OPD billing, can just search the patient's name, or you can just search by bills paid or only unpaid. As you can see, the top 2 bills have been paid and the rest have not been paid by the patient. You can view or update by clicking in these two. Any cancelled appointments will be alerted like in red over here. Next is membership billing. If your patient has any membership plans with the hospital, their billing can be viewed over here. Manage expenses is for you to pay any external bills like electricity bill, Wi-Fi bill. You can add any expenses by clicking over here and view and update. Next is the total revenue report. It's the total revenue generated by your hospital in all the departments. You can view it. You can filter it by the date. And then search it. And then this is your entire revenue generated for this specific month. You can view it as per modalities as well. All these reports you can export to Excel or PDF. Next is the insurance management. If your patient has a specific insurance plan, then you can pay their bills over here. Revised total revenue report is the total revenue generated after adding discounts and refunds. And then is the miscellaneous revenue report of all the revenue generated other than the departments that you have. Here is a separate, it's the same OPD billing, but it is separate IPD module. Total revenue report, miscellaneous revenue report, and then is an IPD deposit report. Here, you can filter it by date and see the deposits that the patients have made before their surgeries. And then is a pharmacy billing, an entire bill report for your pharmacy. In the next section, there are a couple of MIS reports in the accounts module. This is the OPD bill report. You can filter it by date. And then this is an entire report of all the payments that have been done in the OPD section. Similarly, there is a revised OPD bill report. OPD unpaid bill report is the report of the bills that have not been paid yet. And then a revised OPD unpaid bill report, IPD unpaid bill report. Payment balance report is a report for the patients who have paid by check. Daily transaction report, and then the doctor amount owed report. This is the report for if you want to pay a specific share to your doctor, specific share of the consultation goes to the clinic. You can view it as per patient's number, modality, studies, and then the shares. This marks the end of your entire finances workflow. Next is the management. You can change the password over here, add doctor's leaves over here, connect your Zoom or Google Meet consultation accounts over here, view all pending studies in every department, view an ambulance master, add or upload lab values and lab parameters. Build your own helper. In this, you can build your own form in the consultation page. And then is the medical management to manage the triaging management rules. Next, I'll be giving a brief of our MIS module. There are over 100 reports available, and I'll be only showing you a sample of some of them during this demo. So first, we have a daily visit report, a report for all of your daily visits, filtered by a date range. So you can filter this as per your requirements. And these are your daily visits from that specific date range. As you can see, the payment and visit status as well. Next is the OPD bill report, a report of all of your OPD appointments, revised OPD bill report, OPD unpaid bill report, IPD unpaid bill report, pharmacy bill reports. All of these reports are pretty self-explanatory. So I'll just show you a brief about a couple of them. Client overview report is a patient's overview report. You can see a patient's personal details as well as professional they're handling and their treatment plan. Next is payments bounced report. It's for patients who have paid with a check and the payments have bounced. Worksheet register report, TAT report. These two are lab related MIS reports. Ledger report to see a report of your incoming and outgoing. Daily transaction report, patient study report. Over here, you can see the number of times a patient has come for a specific study. Like over here, you can see this patient came for cardiology for 25 times. Next is the doctor's amount owed report, study report, network doctor appointments. For if you have network doctors coming in for specific studies, you can handle their appointments over here. Case dashboard, loyalty card members, cancelled appointments. PNDT monthly summary report is for pregnant women, pregnant patients, for filling up the government regulated rules form. Pending study, OPD other study bill report, physiotherapy diagnosis report. This is just a general report of your IPD. You can custom it on a date range and see all of these details. DSM diagnosis report is for psychology patients. Follow-up visit report, revenue by service point report, summary cash register by revenue, revenue by directorate, and a summary of the revenue generated by your hospital. So this is a demo of the MIS reports. Let me know if you have any queries or if you have to see any specific report, and I'll send you a screenshot of that. Thank you.